That was a bad idea. So, if I am not actively moving around or going to a destination, am I in the way of other characters? This is something I wanted to ask you for. Am I in the way of other people playing the game?
The game will...
Like, if I'm standing in front of an NPC...
Your ship will technically collide in the computer science sense, not the physics sense. But you can roll off of their ship and move around them. But you can't take up the same space as another ship.
Oh, what I mean is that... No, what I mean is that, say I'm on Earth Space Dock. I'm walking around, and I go stand in front of the Admiral. And I'm reading the message. Someone else in Earth Space Dock walks up to the Admiral, so they want to talk to him and get a mission. Am I standing there, like, blocking their path?
Yes, but generally the range of being able to talk to the Admiral or any NPC is wide enough for lots of people to fit.
Okay.
They specifically designed it that way.
Even for characters behind a counter or something like that. I get that. Okay. I just worry about... This is something I worry about in real life, too. I often find myself to be in someone's way without realizing it for several seconds. It's very unpleasant. Because, people are polite. They don't tell you, you're in the way. Oh, I'm on my ship. Okay. What's going on? I want to go... Jeez. Creepy. How do I go onto my bridge?
Are you on your ship already? Your interior ship? Interior of your ship?
I'm in space. I'm in space. I clicked beam to ship, and I'm now in space.
So you hit the down arrow on the right of your mini-map, and click Visit Starship Bridge.
Excellent. You told me that earlier, and I've forgotten it already. I feel very dumb. But nothing happened. Oh, right, I need to... Oh, I have been invited to join Cyreno on the bridge of the USS Euripides.
Please do. It worked.
Thank you for inviting me. Euripides is a cool name.
It is.
It sounds like, something I've heard somewhere before. Can you enlighten me?
It's Greek, but it's...
What's it Greek for?
I don't remember. I would have to look it up.
Is it like how El Nino is Spanish for the Nino?
No. Euripides was the name of a heroic character. I just don't know which one, because there are a lot of Greek myths, and also a lot of Greek heroes. So,
yeah.
But it's one I've heard of, and I will look it up. And I apologize for not being as knowledgeable on the name of my ship as you are on yours.
No! It's not a contest, dude. Also, what does Cyreno mean?
Cyreno is a name I came up with when I first started playing the game. There you are.
Oh, how wonderful. I can, not only am I seeing you clearly, but I can control my character way better now.
There's a lot less going on in here than in Earth Space Dock.
Space Dock is busy.
It is.
From a computer science standpoint.
So this is the science officer over here. She's the only person whose uniform I've actually modified. She also seems to have an aversion to sitting on the ground.
That's fine.
Not a whole lot I can do about that, but I really don't mind. Gets her butt right at eye level, so sure.
Thank you.
That was more sexist than it sounded before I said it. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You just have to apologize to the world now.
That's what I was intending when I said I'm sorry. So from your interior ship, these are my captain's quarters. You
have a nice picture of the natural bridge from Virginia there.
You can put things into your account bank to transfer them between characters.
I cannot access the account bank at this time.
It's because
it's not mine.
I don't know if either it's not your account bank because it's my ship, or it's
not unlocked
because
yet.
you're a free player, and I don't know if free players get an account bank. And they have to mail items to each other through the mail system.
Starfleet duty officer reports.
Yes, so if I had duty officers, which I'm too low a rank to have, I could sit here and I could manage all my duty officer reports from the bridge of my ship, which is totally awesome.
Tell me, Cyreno, what is a duty officer?
A duty officer is a system by which one collects missions and behaves like a captain by saying, you go scan that anomaly, and you go help these colonists, and you form an away team and go reinforce the troops on so-and-so place. If I had
that's embarrassing
trophies,
that you couldn't think of a name to put in that sentence. Okay.
if I had trophies, I could put trophies on my shelves.
Should have said, "Go reinforce Euripides." That would have been great.
Reinforce Euripides.
So let me ask you another
Euripides?
question about duty officers here, because this is really interesting. This kind of sounds like instead of directly doing a mission yourself as an instanced away team, you can send officers from your ship to go do the mission for you.
That is the logical parallel.
Love logical.
As a ship captain, I've got 400 people on my ship, or less, or more, depending on what kind of ship I have. Whatever.
Crew.
That are my crew. And of those crew, some of them are duty officers. They're people who are on call for me to send on active missions. And what happens is I can either take duty officers and assign them to permanent positions on my ship or managing my away team. So I don't take them with me when I go on the away team, but if I assign a security officer to my away team, then they're sort of keeping an eye on me, and anytime I beam in a security team, which would beam 2 temporary security red shirts down to beat up things for a fight duration and then leave, there's a random chance that because that duty officer has been assigned, there's a random chance that I will get more than 2 red shirts every time I use that skill, no matter where I am.
That skill is, in a fantasy RPG, that would be the equivalent of a summon spell.
Yes, and there are others. If I used Summon Medical Team, I could get more medical ensigns and do more healing during the duration of the skill before they get taken back, and things like that.
And away teams are limited to up to 5 people for a normal away team, and does this summoning skill override that limit?
Yes, that's the point of having, there's a big fight over there, I've got 5 people, I can set them up how I want, but I'm a little bit nervous about this because this is the boss fight, so I'm going to beam in 2 more security officers and then go aggro the Nausicaans or whatever, and have 2 more people, warm bodies on the ground with phasers that can help me with the Nausicaans.
For a limited time only, and then it has to cool down or warm up again or whatever, but that would make a huge difference at the beginning of a fight.
Yes.
And I imagine beaming down science people would be very good too near the middle or end of a fight.
Yes. Because it would be non-combatants whose sole job would be to use hyposprays or revive people who'd been beaten up. And I could get more than 1 or more than 2, whatever the limit on that skill is, at a time whenever I use that skill. Also, there are duty officers I could assign so that every time I use not a hypospray, some of the science officer abilities that fall under medic are using specific medicinal abilities on myself to give me a temporary buff, or to give me a heal over time, or to use them on one other party member to give them a buff or a heal over time. If I've got the proper duty officer assigned, there's a chance anytime I use that skill, the buff will apply to the entire away team and not just me or not just my target.
Because they've been preparing the medicine for you or something like that,
yes.
Right? Cool.
So duty officers have, an active roster that you can assign duty officers to augment. That would be the active roster, which I've been talking about, is augment the abilities that you've already got. So in space there'd be 20% or a small percent chance, not 20% chance, but a percentage chance every time you take damage that you get a small hull heal over like a 5% hull regeneration, just because you've been taking damage during the effect of brace for impact, or lowering the cooldown time on firing your high yield torpedoes. So you use a tactical skill, you've got a tactical duty officer assigned to your active roster, they decrease the cooldown time, or they have a chance of decreasing the cooldown time of using high yield torpedoes next time you use it.
Okay, so it's kind of like having people assigned to your bridge officers assigned to your console stations, except on a more shipwide level.
On a more shipwide level and more generalized, more effects you can get overall, more effects you can stack. I think they can stack.
Yeah, so let me ask about duty officer missions. Can you also send them out to go do stuff?
Yes, so if you don't want to put them on your active roster, then every sector of space that you're in, so right now we're in the Sirius sector block, which contains the Sol system, the Vulcan system, and several other planetary systems. In this zone, there would be...
So the Vulcan system is close to Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
So in this zone, there would be a set of missions unique to this zone that I could send duty officers onto. For this zone, it's mostly things like finding research materials. So I'd send someone on a 20-minute or a 3-hour mission or whatever to go scan this nebula or try to encrypt this or try to decrypt this encoded message or scan this alien piece of technology.
Does it gain you money, or what does it gain you?
It can give you money, it can give you several types of different experience, which is a complicated thing I don't even want to get into now because I barely understand it. And it can give you some missions. If they're a diplomatic mission, it could give you a temporary diplomatic immunity so that you can go into the Klingon sectors of space despite the Federation and Klingons being at war, which can be very useful. I think at high levels of having done a lot of diplomatic missions, you would get a permanent diplomatic immunity.
Oh, fun stuff.
But not, high character levels, high duty officer levels. Like, I have spent a whole lot of time working on these diplomatic missions. Now I have diplomatic immunity.
And let me ask, these are duty officer missions. These are not missions that you can go do yourself. These are these are missions that only duty officers can do, right?
Right. You access them from a menu in the game, and you say, it tells you how long the mission will take, what your probable rewards are if you succeed, and what your chances of success, failure, critical success, or complete disaster are, and the likelihood that you will lose a duty officer in
the event of a critical disaster.
Well, in the event of critical disaster or just in doing the mission. I've had successful missions where I had a duty officer severely wounded and then he had to go to sickbay and I couldn't send him on active missions.
Well, can you lose the officers permanently?
The white ranked, which is the lowest ranked officers, you can lose permanently. If you're sending officers on high difficulty or high odds of losing an officer missions, then you would want to send green officers, which are like 1 rank above, or blue officers, which are 2 ranks, or purple officers, which are 3 ranks above, and that would
they have less chance of being
dying,
being KIA.
As far as I know,
success or fail.
As far as I know, they'll never get killed in action, unless what I've read is, like, when you first get duty officers, there's this brief tutorial, and what they say is a mission will explicitly tell you if you can lose a high-ranked duty officer doing it. For as far as I know, I think that's probably only in reference to the Klingon officer mission, execute this officer for incompetence, which always has a 100% chance of killing someone, no matter what rank they are. But as far as I know, no other duty officer missions will kill an officer that's above green rank.
I see.
But they'll still get wounded, but there won't be a chance of them dying. Whereas
I've dealt with a system like this in Assassin's Creed games,
or could die.
where you send your disciples out on missions that are not part of the game, that your main character, can't go out and do the mission themselves. You have to send your disciples out to do it. Mm-hmm. And there's a % chance of success or failure, and in the event of failure, there's a % chance that the disciple will be killed and lost forever.
Yeah.
But in that game, generally, if you fail the mission, your guy dies, regardless of how awesome they are. If they fail the mission, they die, so there's always that. It's a little bit more strict on you in that game.
Well, in that game, you're an assassin leading a guild of assassins, so you're probably, if you get captured, they're just going to kill you.
They're going to kill you.